This is a very critical sector, just the heartbeat of the nation, education, and particularly the teacher. And you know the crisis we are going through in this country in terms of education. We have a new system, we have quite a number of challenges ongoing. And I thought this State Department should be the least affected by any cuts because of the implication it will have on the future of our children and the future of this country. So if you look at all those critical areas that have been reduced, for example, when it comes to compensation to employees, you have already mentioned the medical cover, group life, and the fact that the TSC will be unable to implement the second phase of the 2021-2025 amended CBA. I think we need to do a lot of soul searching and have a discussion seriously so that none of these areas should be reduced as in my view, because of the implication it has on the overall situation in the country. My question is, you've talked of 20,000 teachers. I'm assuming those are JSS teachers and conversion of the 20,000 interns to be recruited and conversion of 46,000 interns to be converted to permanent and pensionable. And you have said you have proposed for the month of October to January 2025 for that to take effect. I remember when we were giving you this money, we insisted that this should start from July. Now that this budget has not been affected, what has solicited the change in the start date from July to October? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, my questions are almost similar to the questions that you asked, and the one which has been asked by Honorable Aaron. But I want to thank the TSC for coming out clearly that they are going to convert the GSS teachers into PNP. But Chair, the CEO has said that the conversion will be in October. Not conversion, said that the teachers in 2.4.5, the recruitment of 20,000 teachers and conversion of 46,000 interns to PNP, who are to be converted in October and who are to be recruited in January. Probably you need to tell us, is it the JSS interns to be converted in October, and is it the 20,000 that you recruit in January? And if that is the case, what happened to the allocation that we gave you, and we said that this should begin in July?
Is the issue of the court case about the illegality of the interns, and yet it has been factored. I don't know how the Teacher Service Commission is handling that issue, and because I'm seeing it is still planning to recruit teachers on intern, how is it vis-a-vis the case in court? And then the second issue is the issue of promotion of teachers. In this entire budget, there is nothing which was mentioned that if the reduction is done, it is going to affect in whichever way. So I think they should come out clear on promotion. And finally, on the issue of the CPA, it is a very critical item in the budget, and we don't want to see teachers again going to the streets and when at this critical time because of retained benefits. Thank you, Chair.
Chair, thank you so much. I'm also delighted that the 46 TSS are going to be permanent. And my question is on the retooling of the teachers who are going to teach the GSS. Of course, from what you have given us, it is that the number of teachers that you intended to retool will be reduced because the budget has been reduced. And as a teacher, I know when we were in college, most things we were taught on how to improvise as a commission. do you have any way that you can improvise so that the teaching, the retooling can be cheaper than it was, so that you can be able to reach as many teachers as possible?
You've talked about the group medical cover for teachers. See, this is a very important scheme for our teachers, especially with regard to their health matters. Now, the group medical cover for teachers, has it been in existence? Because there are teachers who, we have the medical cover for teachers and the group cover. Has it been in existence? Because from what you've proposed here is that it's going to be stopped around 11.9 billion. But I don't think the group cover has not been there. Maybe we need to clarify on the same. Secondly, Macharia, I believe it is the wisdom of the CEO and the Commission that the teachers be recruited in January, the conversion rate. Yet this committee had pronounced itself that, sorry? October is for the 20,000 intern teachers.
The other one is?
They have said respectively, meaning October is for the 20,000 teachers and the conversion is January 25 of the 46,000 teachers. That is on page 5, Chair. The wisdom of this committee had been that all these teachers be converted in July. And there has not been change on the budgetary allocation. So, Madam CEO, it sits right on your desk that you are the one who has moved teacher conversion from July to January. Why that? Yet these teachers had an argument, yet teachers on the streets, and we agreed as a committee that we need to take care of these sons and daughters of ours. And lastly, Madam CEO, if you looked on page number 3, 2.11, you had a very interesting narration that the overall recurrent budget of the Commission has been reduced. Meaning that the Treasury announced itself on the fiscal space available, and then you as a Commission are supposed to reorganize your activities around there. Now the 10,000, the CBA that you had with the teachers, why did you think it better to sacrifice them? Because Treasury did not say that you reduce that CBA. It is the TAC that has decided. Treasury might have said that reduce the fiscal space by 10 billion. Then within yourselves, you organize your budget. Isn't it very important that this CBA be considered, and maybe you cut your budgets on other avenues? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Yes,
Chair, in respect to the 20,000 teachers, you are aware that, as my colleague has alluded, there was a court case in that effect that declared employment of intern teachers as unconstitutional, although I'm aware there is a stay order to that effect. Now, my question is this: what happens if you employ the 20,000 intern teachers in October and the court goes further to declare the employment of the intern teachers as unconstitutional because the matter is still in court? Number two, what is the budget set aside for the employment of the 20,000 intern teachers? And if the same was to be converted to employment of teachers on permanent and pensionable terms, how many teachers would be employed based on that budget? Thank you, Chair.
thank you. Thank you. My question, Madam CEO. When I look at your statement that is on 2.1, the overall budget has been reduced by 10 billion. But if you go to the details, Madam CEO, you've indicated that there is a reduction of 11 billion on WIBA, medical cover, blah, blah, and many others. Then on the same, we have 10 billion on you have 10 billion on CBA. Yet in your initial statement, you've indicated that it is only a reduction of 10. So what is it that is? To me, I'm looking at it. It is about 20. Why are you saying 10? Two, like my colleagues, let me comment you that the intern teachers are being employed. But you have a critical group, 784 teachers who are on strike. Is it 784? Yes, I think that's it. 784, it is around that figure. They went through your disciplinary process, noting that these are young boys, young women, young Kenyans. What are you doing with them? I hope they'll be part of the PNP. Lastly, is the issue, my question goes to the National Treasury, because you with the Teacher Service Commission, you normally sit and agree on some of the issues that are before us. You know very well that there is a signed contract on medical scheme. You know very well that we have a CBA with the teachers, which will actually result into strikes and even can result into penalties. Why do you go straight and do a reduction in an area you have committed yourself as a government? Or you are shooting yourself on the same foot as a government, because you have already signed a CBA 2021-2025. You already have a medical cover for teachers. That question should be jointly answered between you and the CEO, because both of you know very well that you have a running contract, you have a running CBA, you have a running medical cover. Why are you reducing it? Because as a committee of parliament, we can't agree on that, because we don't want, we have more problems than to solve than to have another group again saying we don't have medical cover, we don't have CBA. Yet you, the government, you signed it, and now you are seated before us. What are you doing about that? Thank you. CEO, maybe you can answer those